Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm Kevin O'Donnell. This is Behind the Door, and today is a very big day. Today is the day that I pick up my second edition of my book, Behind the Door.
Mile, turn right onto Little Rapids Road.
The second edition I'm having printed in a soft cover version, and got a call from the printer liaison that I have been working with, who I could not have done this job without. His name is Steve Abst. You'll see Steve coming up here in a few minutes. And he said, your books are ready. Want to get a look at this. I haven't seen this yet. Finished. This was a big concern. Getting the spine right, getting it centered. But since the cover is all the same color on the front and back, on the wraparound, that made making the creases on the spine a lot easier. Looks good. Looks very good. So I'm here to pick about 25 or 30 cases up before the rest are delivered, and I'm in desperate need because I'm nearly out of hardcover books. I only have a couple dozen left. So I've been kind of recording and documenting this process along the way, and show you kind of what it takes to get even a book that's already been published and the layout is all done, what I had to go through to get this softcover edition printed. It feels good to finally have my hands on them. Now, I have to try to beat this rain. All right, have a look. Come on this little journey with me, I guess. So let me take you back to the beginning of this second edition project. I was running low on inventory of the first edition hardcover book, or what they call case-bound book in printer parlance. And with the tourist season approaching, I needed to reorder books. And over the winter, I began updating some of the photos and essays in the book. And now the first edition was, actually bound in China. And while they did an excellent job, on time and on budget, and I'm absolutely thrilled with the finished product, under this new administration, with wacky, ever-changing tariffs and supply chain upheavals, it was just too risky for me to publish it there again in China, with no guarantee of, having any kind of delivery date carved out. And they said it could take up to 11 months to receive books from China. So I had to find an alternative. And I turned to Steve Abst, the consultant I had on the initial run of the books, to source a printer stateside. But no one seemed interested in producing a short-run case-bound book. The setup costs alone would exceed the retail price of the book. I opted for an alternative, a softcover, perfect bound edition. And my overwhelming concern was maintaining the high level of quality as the hardcover edition. And the softcover would be, I hope, create a bigger pool of potential buyers, and with my reduced production costs, I could pass on those savings on to potential buyers, make the book less expensive. And because I'm ultra fussy when it comes to how I want my work presented, how it looks, how it feels, meant that the book cover and the internal pages needed to be done at two different printing houses. Fortunately for me, both were located right here in Wisconsin, one about 3 hours away, the other one about an hour away. So the cover was produced by American Printing Company in Madison. Steve and I made a 3-hour drive down there on the final day of the printing process when they were applying the spot glazing.
Aaron, this is Kevin O'Donnell, the author of the book. So this is our MGI. So we've got everything loaded up, and he has one sheet ready for your viewing. And this is what is bringing out the enhancements in the photos. And so it's really delicately done so that it only brings out areas of your photos to be highlighted and to give it contrast.
sure nobody throws this wrench into the work.
A camera inside here that's photographing every sheet as it comes through in multiple positions, and it's looking for key points on for reference, and it's putting the phase down. We have 22 different print heads in here.
And on the ship, what I was trying to do, rather than just doing like all the water, I tried to highlight the area where this part of the ship is reflecting off the water, highlighting that. We got the rocks in there, and we also got some of the sun right here, which is similar to what we were doing right here.
Well, it turned out great. It really did. It looks beautiful.
Yeah, glad you're happy. Yeah, I think it looks real nice.
From there, Steve and I made our way to Seaway Printing in De Pere, Wisconsin. It was on our way home from Madison, actually, just south of Green Bay. And here's where the internal pages were going to be printed and cut and folded and married to the covers the following week. So after a quick lunch in Madison, we stopped by to see how the press setup was going and talked to the press operator representative to review color corrections on the proofs that I had requested. Let's just say, man, I had concerns with the differences in color on the digital printing of the soft cover compared to the sheet-fed offset printing that was on the first edition made in China. And the paper made a difference as well. So Steve arranged for us to go back down the following week to Seaway for a complete press check on all 16 forms that comprise the 184 pages of the book. And I reviewed all of them. Yeah, it's far more red than this. This is very purplish and greenish.
And that input that input will help Chad a little bit too when he goes out there. I mean, he's trying to get his steps in today, so.
I can't tell you how rare an opportunity it is to go out onto the floor of a high-speed print operation and be able to do this in the age of digital printing. Nobody wants to take the time. Typically, no press checks are even allowed, but we spent nearly the entire day there tweaking color, and until I was satisfied that the digital version looked every bit as good, and in some cases better, than the offset first edition book.
And the type is looking okay for you, Kevin?
Yeah. So to have a hand in this process, getting the color right ahead of time, was a gift, and all part of the setup process where most of the costs lie. So it takes a lot of time, it takes patience, and it especially takes skill on the part of the master printer. And as for the printing, it was totally automated. The 80-foot-long Heidelberg Speedmaster press requires just one operator and one assistant to run. The forms containing 8 sheets of the images representing 12 finished pages of the book are fed and removed into the press by an automated elevator. Each form represents a quantity of a color, different color, to be added to the image. At each station, the different color is laid down before advancing to the next station as the sheets are fed through. There's a lot of hit and miss in adjusting color, and it generates thousands of pounds of waste. It was horrifying, actually, to see my book that I've worked so hard on for years by the handful get tossed into this trash bin because of a color on a particular photo didn't look quite right. But that paper will be 100% recycled. And after all the corrections were made and reviewed and approved, they saved all that information and moved on to the next form. And they did this a total of 16 times, each time for each form. It was a long day's work, back and forth between the conference room and the print floor. But I came away confident that the corrections that we made were spot on. The next step was printing the book. And once they start the printing, they don't stop, which is why it's so critical to get the pre-press proofs correct from the get-go and get them approved. Printing would be a couple of days away yet, and I really didn't even need to be there for that. My work, in the approval process was done. So besides that, the Speedmaster press runs up to 22,000 sheets per hour. My project was 15,333 sheets. So allowing for about 5 minutes changeover between each form, the entire book printing process was less than 2 hours. And then after that came the trimming and the folding and adding the perfect binding, and eventually individually shrink wrapping each book. Now, when I received the books and I started going through the boxes at home, I saw that the shrink wrap on almost all of the 1,000 books looked, well, horrible, frankly. The choice of the film was too thick, it was dull in appearance, the seams were ragged, there was bubbles on the back of it, the heat settings weren't right. I mean, there was nothing about this shrink wrapping process that was correct, frankly. And having spent 37 years in the packaging engineering business, I know what a shrink wrap package is supposed to look like. So I asked Steve to source another vendor and have the old shrink wrap removed. And I had just received award stickers from the awards that I won, and I wanted a sticker affixed to the front and then shrink wrap over that. So this meant about another 4-week delay in launching my book. And I know it's just shrink wrap, but that's not really the point, is it? I mean, I'm not going to have this sitting on a retail shelf looking like this. Not going to happen. So when Steve told me that he found a vendor to do this job right in my own backyard in Sturgeon Bay, I thought, great, how convenient is that? Then he asked me if I would be willing to entrust that work be done at Sunshine Resources of Door County. I never hesitated. I leaped at the opportunity, and I was actually excited to involve them in my project and have it finished there. Sunshine Resources is a much beloved nonprofit organization here in Door County that provides quality experiences and promotes growth and independence for adults with disabilities and disadvantages.
Okay. A few minutes early. Let's go see how they're gonna shrink wrap these books.
And I was absolutely thrilled to be able to support them and proud to include them as part of my book project. Not only that, they did an excellent job.
Yeah, well, Sunshine Resources of Door County started in 1971. It was a conglomerate of a few families who had children with disabilities. And as you can imagine, in 1971, there wasn't a whole lot of community integration with those with disabilities. So these families needed a place for their loved ones to go so they can feel welcome, they can feel appreciated and socialize with like-minded people. And in 2025, we've evolved. So now what we used to be known as Sunshine House Incorporated, we changed our name to Sunshine Resources of Door County. And the reason we did that was because of the different programming and services that we've expanded over the last 52 to 53 years. So if there's anybody in the community that feels that they need a little bit of assistance in their socialization and making friends and employment, we want to be that hub for those individuals to give them the opportunity to explore a lot of the things we take for granted in life. And we start with our day services program. So our day services runs Monday through Friday, and that's where our clients get their socialization. They'll explore a lot of the opportunities that the community has to offer, from going on outings to movies to plays. We were just at a Timber Rattler game last week. So we want to give them the experience that we take for granted each and every day, where they feel that they're not welcome. And we want them to know that they are welcome and they are appreciated for who they are. And then we also have our day service programming for our seniors, and primarily we deal with people who are suffering from Alzheimer's or dementia-related illnesses. And then we have our pre-vocational opportunities, and our pre-vocational training is local in our facility here. We work with local manufacturers and local organizations, whether it's printing and mailing, shredding, and in your case, shrink wrapping books. So we do all these different projects because these are things that many people with different dexterities can perform. And our goal is to help give them the skills needed to be employed in the community.
What's going on here?
What's going on here? I'm just taking a little video, doing a little promotion thing for Sunshine House.
Oh, I see. I'm working on light bulbs.
We recently changed our mission to not only serving those with disabilities, but we also serve those with disadvantages. And when we talk about disadvantages, that's a broad scope of individuals in our community. It could be injured veterans, disabled veterans. It could be people who are in recovery from an addiction. We have several people employed here who have been in severe car accidents. So these are all things they never asked for in life, but were acquired through life, and for whatever reason has put them at a disadvantage in the community when it comes to employment. So we want to be able to help them strive, because they just want to be another contributing member of our society and our community. And by giving them the tools and the knowledge they need to be employed again is really what our mission is all about.
Doing infinite switches. They attach the wires to the switch and they get shipped back to Hatco.
Hi there.
Can you say hi, Terry? Terry, say hi. Hi.
There's a lot of nonprofits in Door County. There's over 300 nonprofits, and everybody has their niche. For me, I've worked in the private sector all my career. This is my first time in a nonprofit, and I'll never go back. And this job has been so humbling, just to see the success of these two gentlemen. Where, unfortunately for Quentin, he was in a severe car accident, and by profession, he was a very talented graphic designer. And unfortunately, he just can't perform those duties anymore, and he lost his career. So if you pull this right about to the edge of the book, then you can take that. And I always put the binding in first, because when we're pushing it in, we don't clip the corner, right? Want to see your work? That's the best one yet. Looks great. Nice. And we're going to pack it in. That's it. All right. You're on.
All right.
But with his talents and bringing him in, I actually have him working on doing some of our marketing materials and developing. So he's getting back into the design work, which is his love and his passion. It's really just finding people's talents and really, for lack of a better term, exploiting those talents that they may or may not remember they have, but helping them build the confidence to pull that back out and see what are their capabilities.
Well, that's great work that you do. It really is.
Yeah, thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Yep.
I left a couple of books in Jeremy's office. He'll give them to you later, okay? I really appreciate the help you guys have given me here. Thank you so much, Eric. Thank you, Quentin. Yep. So there you have it. 6 months worth of effort distilled down to what, a 15 or 20 minute video? I don't know. I just thought you'd kind of like to see how the sausage was made. And then at the tail end of the printing process last month, I was informed that the book received, multiple national and independent publishing awards and international awards for content and design. And in the category of large format, nonfiction, and they sent me this embarrassingly large acrylic plaque with my book cover on it. I wanted to use it for a cheese platter for, when company comes over, but Colleen told me I had to hang it in my studio somewhere, so there she hangs. So, the second edition softcover book is officially published now. And if you'd like to purchase a copy for yourself or for someone else who you think would appreciate such a gift, you can go to my website and order it directly through me. I sign each copy, and I package each copy myself and take them to the post office. And now through August 31st, I'll waive the $9 shipping costs. So just go to my website, KevinO'Donnell.photography, hit the buy the book button in the middle of the page there, and it will take you directly to it. And if you scroll down on the right-hand side there, you can see the quantity and either a softcover edition for $60 or the hardcover first edition for $75. And if you really prefer a hardcover edition, I know I do, I'd recommend ordering it soon because I only have about 40 or 45 hardcover books remaining from that initial run last year. And I, like I said at the top here, I don't have any immediate plans of reordering the hardcover. And when you submit your order, I usually ship them out within 24 hours, and they ship second day ground express through the post office. So that's it for me for now. I know many of you get concerned when you don't hear from me for a while or don't post videos for a while. I can assure you that Colleen and I are both doing well. In fact, she just had her 3-year post-op oncology check this past week and passed with flying colors. She feels good, she looks great, and I have, had no real health issues, knock on wood. So until next time, thank you so much for your continued support and for your concern. It's really appreciated. So take care of yourselves, and I'll just see you down the road. Thanks for watching, everyone. Bye for now.